right, sixth grade, welcome to another week of mathematics. Getting you ready for seventh grade now because we're getting a little higher up into things, but don't be scared, it's gonna be great. In fact, this lesson, 81, really is the book catching up to what we've been doing. We've used proportions to solve percentages already, so hopefully this is a review. You might recall that I said, the book has this way to do it, but it doesn't work all the time, and you got to use the sign of the cross and so forth. So now the book is finally caught up to where we are. So a quick review for lesson 81. So you see a percent problem, all right? Percent problems are very common in real life, How much do you tip when we can go back to going to restaurants again? And, what percentage of this or that. Things are often expressed in percentages, so you need to be able to deal with them. And our old friend, the sign of the cross, is an excellent way to do that, to organize the information. So, you'll see problems like 30% ordered a salad. If 21 customers did not order a salad, how many customers were there? Now, if you try to just dive into that, it's very confusing, no doubt about it. But we have a way of breaking this down, and that's the sign of the cross. And on one side, we've got percentages, and on the other side, we've got numbers that represent amounts. Always start off with 100%. That's the total amount, all right? So that 100% automatically goes in there, all right? Now, we look at what they tell us. It says 30% ordered a salad. So under the percent column, we can write 30 with keeping track of things. I put an S that says this 30% ordered salad, all right? And it says 21 customers did not order a salad. Well, 21 does not represent all the customers, and 21 did not, but the 30% did. So I put the 21 customers, the number, not a percent, over here where we don't have a percentage yet, but come on, if we know that there's 100% total, and 30% did not order the salad, then what percent did order the salad? You're right. 100 minus 30 says 70%, all right, did not order that salad. We simply subtract what we know from the beginning amount, and we get did not. And now we've got a proportion. We have three things, and we're asked to find the missing thing. In fact, how many customers were there? We want to know in how many total customers, how many 100% represents. So the N, what we're trying to find, goes next to the 100. And from this, we can make a proportion. 100 over 70 equals N. Remember, proportions, they go with each other. So if 100 is on the top, N has to be on top. And 70 on bottom goes with 21. And now it's simply a matter of 100 times 21 divided by 70, and we should get a number that is more than 21, right? Because here the top number is bigger than the bottom number, so to be in proportion, this top number better be bigger than that. And so if I do 21 times 100, that's 2100, and I divide that by 70, and I get 3, so 30 customers all together. All right. Now, does that make sense? Well, we have 70%, that's way more than half. And 21 out of 30 total, that's way more than half. So, we can say this is a reasonable answer. Let's try a different type. So, 40% did not buy hot lunch. Be careful of these words like not, all right? You might want to just pay particular attention to them. 40% did not buy hot lunch. If 480 students buy their lunch, how many students did not buy their lunch, or the hot lunch? Well, sign of the cross, percent, 100, numbers. Automatic. Just set it up that way. All right, now, what do we know? 40% did not. So I can say 40 not under the percent sign, which we can immediately say then 60 did, right? 100 minus 40 leaves 60 that did. If 40% didn't, then 60 did, all right? It says if 480 students buy their lunch. Now we have to ask ourselves, does the 480 go with the total number of students? Does the 480 go with those who didn't buy hot lunch or those who did buy hot lunch? And it says 480 students buy their lunch, neither hot nor not hot, so that's total. So we've got 480 is 100% of the students, all right? And now what's the question asking for? How many, in the number column, students did not buy hot lunch? Well, I'm looking for the thing that goes with not. I got 40 not and 60 did, so this not is what I'm trying to find, right there. And that should immediately suggest a proportion for you, because now we can write 100 over 40 equals 480 over what we're trying to find. And then it's a matter of 480 times 1 times 40 divided by 100, and you could punch that out on your calculator and you should get a number that is what compared to 480? Yeah, it should be less than 480, all right? In fact, yeah, I'll let you do that, all right? I mean, punching buttons on the calculator, that's not the big deal. The important part of this lesson is setting up the proportion, all right? All right, here's another one. The Wordly Wise test had 40 words. 6 words had 4 syllables. What percent of the words had less than 4 syllables? Again, very confusing if you just try to answer that question. But you don't have to. You have the sign of the cross. We've got percent, we've got some number, and we've got 100%. And now we look at the numbers they give us. The test had 40 words. That was all the words in the test, right? So that's 100% of the words, so 40 goes with 100%. 6 words had 4 syllables, all right? So 6, that's not a percent, that's here. 6 had 4 syllables. What percent of the words had less than 4 syllables? Well, that's what's left, right? So if there's 40 total, and there's 6 big words, then the rest are the less than 6. So we can do 40 minus 6 and say 34 had less than 4 syllables, right? And now what's the question asking? What percent of the words? The percent had less than, oh, we just found 34 of them, but that's not a percent. So we need to find the percent. In this case, the variable n goes on the side of the percent. And once again, that tells us exactly how to set up the proportion. 100 over n equals, and now what goes with the 140 over n goes with 34. And so we do 100 divided by 34, or 100 times 34 divided by 40. Take a shortcut across, 10 times 4, 40, and you can say 10 times there, 340 divided by 4 goes 8 times 2, 5. So 85% were less than 6 syllables. All right. So again, you've done this already. It's just a matter of putting the numbers in the right place, using the framework of the sign of the cross, with percentages on one side, always starting with 100, and then figuring out what these numbers go with, as far as are they the numbers, amounts, or are they percents, and sometimes you might have to do a little subtraction to find out what they're asking for. So that brings us to the end of this. I'm sure you'll do a good job on lesson 81, A to C, and 12 to 15.